Hello, 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 dreamers, and welcome back to Perla's Dreams. Pisces, Aries, Cusp. This is your reading. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever resonates and please, please leave the rest. Serenity is what I'm picking up. There are aspects of your life that, I mean, it almost feels like everything is just falling into place. There is like this calm. You know how we usually say like, oh, there's this calm before the storm, but it's like your calmness is coming after the storm. There were areas, there was like a tremendous amount of pain and agony over losing someone, um over having to face the fact that you're never going to see this person again, you're never going to be around them again. And it finally feels like something is settling down. It finally feels like something is just like, oh, okay. It's a peacefulness, a serenity energy coming through with that. Oh my god. I don't know why is it all right. For some of you, who you lost wasn't a person, it was a dog, it was an animal, a guinea pig or something. um I keep on seeing a guinea pig and I keep on seeing the heart of a guinea pig. I'm not exactly sure what they mean spiritually. Guinea pigs, friendship, communication, and importance of nurturing relationships is what they represent. Um, so there's an aspect of that when it comes to this loss. If you did lose a person, it's like there's not going to be that relationship, that connection. Maybe you may have felt like you could have done more to nurture a certain relationship or something of that matter. But whatever it was that you were experiencing during the storm of being in those feelings in that space, is being lifted. And there's more of like a serenity and more a calming into acceptance of what happened. Um, and really like not allowing yourself to get into a place where you're like blaming yourself or you're being angry at yourself anymore. There, how do I even explain that? There's a tree, right? So like, whether this is happening like in a dream or this is happening like in person, you're sitting and it's almost kind of like you're sitting not directly like under a tree but like in front of a tree, but you're looking at the tree. And is not the clouds above the tree look like a phoenix. I don't know what that's pertaining to be honest with you, but that is exactly what it looks like. It looks like a like the tail end of a phoenix is touching the tree. But this looks like, that's what I'm saying, like if this is happening like in real life, this is like the cloud looks like the freaking phoenix and it looks like it's almost kind of like taking off the tree. And if you're having a dream in regards to this, it's like you're seeing a phoenix taking off of a tree. um that is some type of confirmation for something that you have been wanting clarity on. For those of you that are having that or seeing that, it okay. So there was something that you were questioning in regards to who's the Okay. In regards to like who's the father, or how, it's something about like how somebody is related to somebody else. So either you're trying to figure out how you are related to somebody, or like how someone is related to like your kid. I don't know. There's something here, like there's some family secret here that is coming up, but it's like you're getting confirmation for the secret before it actually comes out to light. I don't know. We're gonna leave that there because it seems very like there's a lot of like intertwined things that don't really want to get into. But yeah, there's something about like a family secret about like who's their daddy. Like wait, no, like that's my dad, or something of that matter. Um, this is maybe a real like maybe like somebody was your cousin, but in reality they're not your cousin. They're like your half sister, half brother, or something like that. There's some drama out here coming out, and this is something that maybe you had suspected or something like that, and the spirit is giving you the confirmation, like yeah, you were right on this aspect or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand drama like that, but okay. All right, so let's go ahead. That's for whoever needed that message. What else do we have for you guys? The Serenity energy. You are really during this time. You're really working on boundaries that that you have set, but that you have really not a follow through with. Um, so you will be labeled this during this time as not a very like there's a few names that are coming to mind that are not so very pleasant, right? And it's okay. If you need to be the villain in their story or whatever it is what it is at this point. But you have to make sure that you're following through with these boundaries, especially with individuals that are constantly coming towards you, um, asking you for favors. That's what I'm picking up. Like, oh, can you drive me here? Oh, can you did can oh can you can. And it's like, it's like that saying, like, takers, they don't know when to stop, right? And neither do givers. So um you seem to be the giver in this aspect, and it's like you're being awakened, or you have been awakened to this part of yourself that is constantly giving to others, or is constantly um trying to help others. That needs to stop. If it's coming at a cost where it's taking so much from you, like right now I'm getting like really really exhausted, like my body is kind of like shutting down. And I'm allowing the experience to happen because I'm trying to feel into it, right? And it's almost kind of like that. That's what I'm feeling. It's like you. And what happens is like a lot of people misunderstand you, or a lot of people don't see this part of you. The only part that they see is the part that sets the boundaries. But you get to a point where you deplete yourself so much that it's like physically almost impossible like to take another step. It's like you get home and it's like you, and again I feel like a lot of you have gotten past this energy, or working, excuse me, are working of going through like growing through this energy, but it's like you would overextend yourself and wanting to help others or helping others, that you wouldn't even have like the energy like to feed yourself when you got home. You didn't even have the energy like to change into like your pajamas. Like that's kind of like to the extreme. um and that is something that you have been trying to work on, but during this time you really, really, really need to be very intentional when it comes to your boundaries, and with really staying firm with them. Um, there's something about like your place is the place where everybody wants to get together. Your place is like the place where everybody wants to like hang out, want to have the cookouts and all of this. And it's like, hey, I'm all for hosting, but I ain't hosting every weekend. I ain't even hosting every month. Like, relax. It's not that serious. Like, we can take turns, right? And it's almost that type of energy where you really, really have to you really have to stick to your boundaries this time, because you already know what it is or how things turn out for you when you don't. Let's see, is there anything else that Pisces, Aries, Cusp needs to know, Spirit? So the balance that you've been trying to get into your life, um, is something that you have to be very adamant about. It is something that you, like, if you decided to cut certain people out, or you decided to have certain boundaries with people, you really need to stick to them. You don't feel bad because, like, it's Father's Day, Mother's Day, is this or is that. Like, the minute that you give this person like an inch, they take like the entire arm, right? Like, te doy la mano y coge brazo entero, right? It's like, I give you my hand, but you take my entire arm. And it's like, this person really lacks boundaries within themselves, so therefore they are not willingly, like, a willing participant in respecting your boundaries. And for those of you that are dealing with a person like this, you are going to have to stand up for yourself. And at some point, you're going to have to make the decision, like, is this even somebody that I want to even have in my life anymore? Like, if I have to continuously repeat what my boundaries are and they're constantly being violated, why am I even keeping this person around? And that's a question that you really have to ask yourself. What is it that you're willing to continue on engaging with? For those of you that this is like somebody romantically or something like that, like, you know, why are you still staying in this relationship? There's an imbalance of power here, where you're always caving. You're always caving, and you've been trying to stand up for yourself, but like the more that you try to stand up for yourself, or the more that you try to speak up for yourself, the the more arguments, or the more emotional that somebody becomes, the more victimized somebody tries to make themselves. And you have to be able to see through that energy right away, and really not allow yourself to be drawn into their game, into this manipulative energy that they're bringing you into. So again, for some of you, this is just like a family member. For others of you, this is somebody that you are romantically involved with. It's like, let's say, like, you're done for today. You don't want to do anything other than like go and lay in bed. And it's like, oh, a very simple line. It's like, oh, you always want it. Like, oh, you never want it. Like, never. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I say no one day and you're really gonna try to guilt me into doing something I don't want to do. And that's kind of like what you have to start realizing with these individuals that are using like this manipulative energy towards you. And you need to be able to recognize it, and then you also need to be able to stop it, without feeling bad about it, right? It's also like a thing, like when you think about, like, when you deal with like liars and things like that, it's like when somebody gets caught in a lie, they get very defensive, they start to attack, and then they make themselves the victim. And that's kind of like the way that you have to be able to recognize the you have to be able to recognize like every step in the ladder of how things are evolving, and not recognizing it after the fact, and after you've caved in and you feel horrible and this and that, and you're wondering why you feel so tired and all that. Like, you need to start recognizing it the minute that it comes. It's the presence shows itself, the energy shows itself. And that's what you're navigating during this time, is those subtle energy aspects of things that are being shown to you and are being revealed to you. So there's definitely this aspect of being more in tune with your own emotion, and also realizing when it is that is something that is being reflected, or is it that if somebody's just projecting something onto you that has nothing to do with you, right? They're trying to project their own insecurities, their own feelings onto you, and are trying you to, they're trying to make you internalize what it is that they are experiencing. And this is something that happens on a daily basis, like almost to every single person, right? Where when people are not self-aware of their own feelings, or how to regulate those emotions or those feelings within themselves, um trying to constantly project them onto someone else so that somebody else can carry that load for them is something that they do like as a default type of thing. So be very aware of that energy, be very aware of when this is happening. And one of the ways that this is going to work for you guys is by keeping those boundaries and really following through with those boundaries that have been set. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle deck to close your message. We're using the Ruby oracle. All right. So give me one card, Spirit, for Pisces, Aries, Cusp. One card to close your reading, Spirit. One card. From nothing to everything. Number 16. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. When we think about blank pages, especially like in notebooks and things like that, that is the opportunity to write a new story. And that is exactly the process that you guys are going through by setting these boundaries. These boundaries that you're setting, this way of choosing to stand up for yourself. It is a blank page that you are choosing to write a new narrative, that you're choosing to write a new story for yourself. Um, it's almost kind of like this aspect of like no longer allowing yourself to be defined by who you were, right? What you tolerated, and not needing to give anybody a reason as to why those boundaries have been set, or as to why you have certain boundaries, or as to why you only allow what it is in alignment with you. And the thing is that a lot of the times when we're in a space where our boundaries are constantly violated, we feel that we need to explain, constantly explain or over explain why we're setting these boundaries. But as the time goes by and the more that you stand, excuse me, firm in your own boundaries, the more that you start to realize that they are there, and the boundary itself is an explanation in itself. And whoever cannot see that, whoever does not want to respect that, then does not belong in your space, does not belong in your energy. I don't know, I really, really love this image. When we talk about like from nothing to everything, look at that nothingness as the aspect of yourself when you were just there, like being a shell of the person of who you truly are, when you were allowing yourself to live by someone else's definition of you. And that everything that you're walking into, that everything that you are creating, is when you allow yourself to be the definition that you say you are. You define yourself. You define who you are. You define where it is that you're headed. You define what it is that you are connecting with. You're literally taking control of your life again. And this is beautiful. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like you guys, like Pisces, Aries, and Pisces itself, has had a very and I want to say Aquarius, Pisces, like anything with Pisces, I feel that watery energy of Pisces element has had a very rough few years. And it may have seemed to others like you guys were not trying hard enough, or like you guys were just like whatever, but you guys had a lot to uncover, a lot to heal, a lot to do in order to get to a place where you finally felt like you were standing on like solid ground. But that is all that I have for you at this moment in time. As always, guys, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.